Most visitors to Khao Yai National Park miss out on its true magic because they don't plan ahead. They stick to the main road, see a few monkeys, maybe a deer, and leave thinking that's all the park has to offer. But I've been exploring Khao Yai for 35 years, and with the right preparation, you can discover waterfalls, hidden trails, rare birds, elephants, and even more. In fact, I'm one of the very few people who's ever managed to photograph a wild tiger here. In this guide, I'll show you how to make the most of your trip, so your visit to Khao Yai becomes unforgettable. Right, we're just about to get to the main gate at Khao Yai now, where you have to pay. There's two main gates. There's this one, which is the north gate, and there's one at the south. Generally speaking, you know, if I'm coming from somewhere like Pha Diew, I prefer using the one at the southern end. It isn't quite as busy. But this is the main one at the north end. Currently, it's 400 baht for us foreigners and 40 baht for Thais. Sawadee krab, เท่าไหร่ครับ Okay, 430 baht, which is 400 baht for me and 30 baht the vehicle fee. So regardless of which entrance you use, whether it's the south entrance or the north entrance like we've just come into, be very careful. The road is very windy, can be steep in places, and it's not just the road you've got to be careful of, it's the wildlife. You can get anything on the roads here. It's very common to see troops of monkeys in the road. I've seen wild dogs running across the road before, deer, even a huge python I've seen going across the road, and it's not very rare either that you'll come across elephants in the road. Now, if you do see elephants in the road ahead of you, just stop. Do not get near them. If they're walking towards you, turn around if you can, reverse if you can, just stay away from them. There's some very scary videos available of people who've got in their cars who've got too close to elephants at Khao Yai National Park. So this is the main Khao Yai visitor centre, and in all honesty, I think for a lot of tourists, you know, a lot especially local tourists, this is about as far as they get. You know, they just go and get something to eat and drive through. Hopefully with this video I'll be able to give you a few ideas and tell you some of the options you've got available to you. Now, by this headquarters you've got the restaurant area over there, which is quite extensive, very reasonably priced, only Thai food but very reasonable, and there's the visitor centre proper there. Now in the visitor centre they've got a shop where you can buy souvenirs, you know, like hats and clothes and things that are actually quite practical, like anti-leech socks if it's the rainy season, or insect repellent hats, things like that. Some of the stuff they sell is actually quite practical. They've also got the visitor centres like almost like a kind of museum where they've got some taxidermies and pictures and some details about the wildlife you can see here. Now, Khao Yai is Thailand's first national park, and it's probably its most visited and most accessible. Well worth a visit. For that reason, it's very well maintained. It's got absolutely great facilities. You know, I would say for most people, it's the national park you can come to that's just got the best of everything. You know, you can arrange hikes and stuff like that. Now, if you do want to do jungle hiking, these days they pretty much insist that you have a ranger with you, and I would say that's a good idea. You know, some of the trails are easier to follow than others. Some of them are just really tricky. You know, there's one of the trails here that I never fail to get lost on, even when I've got a GPS with me. So what you do is, if you turn up here, if you want to hike, you can turn up here early in the morning, and quite often they'll have like rangers hanging around that you can hire. I don't know, anything from like 500 to 1,000 baht, depending on which trail you're in, which is pretty reasonable if there's a group of you. What I would do is I'd probably turn up the night before, spend the night. You can either hire a cabin, I think you might have to do that online, or you can camp here. You can hire the camping equipment, just turn up and hire it one of the two campsites and spend the night. And before you do that, come to this place, come to the HQ and tell them that you'd like to hike one of the trails the next day, you'd like to book a ranger, and then arrange it for you and tell you what time to be here. Also, you can book here the night safari. You've probably seen in my videos where you've got the spotlights. They drive you through some of the main roads of the national park for an hour at night. Now, they have 2 spots available, 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. I usually go for the 8 p.m. I'm kind of working on the principle that the later you are, the more chance there is that the wildlife would have come out. But it doesn't always work that way. Well, you can book it here, tell them where you're staying, and they'll arrange for the truck to go and meet you at whatever campsite you're staying at. I think it's 600 baht. Currently it's 600 baht, but you book that just inside here. So yeah, very nice facilities. You walk in through these main doors, these double main doors, and this desk straight ahead of me now, that is where you go if you want to book. If you want to book the tours, book the night safari or book a ranger or something for the next day. And there you go, they've got the souvenir shop and the little museum. And one thing to bear in mind is that nearly everything in Khao Yai National Park closes almost immediately. It gets dark, you know, like the little shop over here and the visitor centre and everything. There are exceptions to that. Sometimes, like if it's a bank holiday weekend or a busy weekend, some of the restaurants will stay open until 9, but I'd never count on it. You know, make sure you buy your stuff, anything you need, either before you enter the park or before you retire to your tents or your bungalows, whatever. Right, they've got a little shop here that sells things like tissue, food, like basic things like potato chips, crisps, even ice cream, and what I'm going to get some water for the hike. Just basic stuff. It's a little bit more expensive than it would be in a 7-Eleven down below, but not much. We're only talking a few baht. เท่าไหร่ครับ 30 baht. Okay, 30 baht, yeah. So, opposite the main visitor centre is this, the little restaurant area. Now, if this was a bank holiday or even a weekend, all these stalls would be full. But I think they've just got 1 or 2 of them open today because they don't have the demand. It's what in Thai they call a khao gang, which means like rice and curry, and they have like pre-prepared dishes that you order and spoon over your rice. Works out pretty cheap, it's pretty economical, to be honest. Have a look, see what we got. สวัสดีครับ อ๋อได้แล้ว โอเคครับ แล้วมีแกงอะไรบ้าง มีพะแนงหมูพะแนงเนื้อแล้วก็เอาพะแนงหมูทำไมกับกะเพราหมู โอเคค่ะ หลอกข้าวค่ะข้าวพะแนงหมูกับต้มข่า Right, I've ordered a pork Penang curry and a kapow. I'll just get like a spoonful of each over a bowl of rice. So there you go, my double decker with the kapow and the Penang curry. 50 baht, not bad, eh? Good deal. Now when you finished your food, if you walk through the restaurant area around the back here, they've got this little place here with the signs saying used utensils. Yeah, so you just come in here, just scrape off any waste and then leave the plates and the cutlery here and they'll clean them up. So the restaurant area behind me is right next to this, the Lam De Kong River. And you can see some pretty incredible wildlife just even while you're eating. I mean, I've seen huge monitor lizards there before, deer, and even one time myself and a couple of friends saw some wild dole, which are like vicious pack hunting dogs, and they killed a deer overnight just on that bank behind me, and they were finishing it off when we arrived. It's the only time I've ever seen that. I've got some video, I'll put it in. So yeah, even when you're just sitting there eating, you can see wildlife. And something you have got to be careful of is quite often they'll have monkeys who'll turn up, and you know what they're like there. I mean, they're absolutely terrible. I've been told that they're really fond of like fried eggs, so if you've got like fried eggs over your food or something and you turn your back, they will just swoop down from the rafters and grab it. Anything, just be careful if you've got anything and the monkeys around, hang on to it, keep your eye on it, because if you drop your guard for a second, it'll be gone. Right, this is Lam De Kong campsite, which has always been my favourite campsite here. It's one of two main campsites. There's this and there's one called Pha Diew Dai. Now, there was an incident about 4 years ago where a wild elephant killed somebody at Pha Diew Dai, and it's hardly been open since. I'm not sure if it's open now. I'll find out. But anyway, this is the main one. Now, that's the main office behind me there. When you arrive, you turn up there, you can hire tents, sleeping bags, blankets, pillows, mats to lay on, virtually anything. It's really cool. They'll just sort of like ask for your passport or something as a deposit, but you know, it's not too expensive, not restrictive. I would say if you can avoid it, avoid weekends and especially bank holidays, because it's just like a pop festival on those days. But if you come midweek, then it's fine, you know. Actually, I just saw a monkey running after somebody up there. Yeah, they've got a few monkeys around, so you do have to be careful. You do have to watch your stuff. Don't leave stuff lying around, you know. Now, if you want to do the night safari, you can arrange for it to come and pick you up here at this office. At the campsite, they've also got a restaurant area behind me there, and that's like the main tent area there, which is huge. There's loads of spaces to put up your tents. Now, behind me up there, they've got showers and toilets. They're clean, they're reasonable, they're good facilities, but do bear in mind that it's cold water showers. Now, they've got this area here which got power sockets, and people come here. It's like it's open from 5 in the evening till 9, or 5 in the afternoon till 9 at night, 6 in the morning. So they've got limited hours when it's open. Now, you can use it to charge your phones and everything, but of course you have to sit there while you're charging your phone. It can get very busy. My advice is bring a power pack. Something I always bring along is a power pack. Now, I don't know if you can see over there, but they've got the deer grazing. The deer hang around a lot, and you know, and they can be a bit persistent, you know. In the evenings, if you've got food, they'll come around and you know, they'll be out for whatever they can get. Yeah, so they've got this nice little suspension bridge. Watch out for the monkeys, and don't do what I do once and put my tent up over there because it looks nice and quiet, because they'll just tell you to move it somewhere else. Yeah, you can either bring your own tent, in which case they charge you like a nominal fee. I think it's like 30 baht to pitch your tent, or you can hire everything you need over there. They've got the tents, the sleeping bags, the pillows, you know, the blankets, the mats to sleep on, anything you want, which, to be honest, these days that's usually what I do. Do have to be careful, especially with kind of food, because the animals come sniffing around, you know, particularly deer and also monkeys. Do not leave anything unattended for a second, because if you do, there'll be monkeys around. Also, believe it or not, you get porcupines running around here at night, and they are not scared of people these days. They can get pretty close. I mean, I wouldn't call them dangerous. They're friendly enough, but yeah, it can be a bit of a shock to turn around and see a porcupine at your feet. So that was funny. We were just sitting there having a chat outside the tents, and Brian just said, "Don't move." There's a porcupine right behind you. You're the first person who's ever said that to me. And he was right, there was.
Right there, its spines were nearly touching me.
Also, you know, another thing that can be an issue is if you come at weekends or Lord forbid a bank holiday, then it can be pretty noisy. Now, they do ask everybody to turn off music and be quiet after 10 p.m, but you know, it can be very crowded. Look, see, look, they launched a synchronised attack, didn't they? Look, stole some food. Look at them. They are awful, aren't they? Look, Mark now. Look at that. There you go, that was a synchronised attack. Look, see, look. He still hasn't given up. There we are. That's the easiest option, isn't it? ตกใจหรือเปล่าครับ Yes, they were shocked, they were surprised.
นี่จ่าฝูงแล้วมั้ง
Oh, look at him, he's a big one, isn't he? He don't care. He's been having a good feed. He's the one who's just on the bridge. Right, I'll just show you one of the toilets. They've got a few of them dotted around the campsite. There you go. This sort of running water, it's probably ain't the cleanest running water, but it does the job. Oh, they've even got Western style toilets now. There you go, things are getting modern. Right, you have to be careful what you trip over if you come here in the middle of the night. But here are the shower facilities. But please do bear in mind that it is cold. Believe it, I mean, that wouldn't bother me now. In fact, I'd love to have a cold shower right now. But remember, it's very high up here and it gets very cold. I mean, I've had it down to 4 centigrade before here. And the last thing you want to face in the morning is a cold shower. Right, so first thing in the morning, you'll probably be itching to get to this place, which is like a little restaurant area. They've got a little restaurant, they've got a little shop to the left. Again, be careful about monkeys, because the monkeys will come in here and they'll get hold of anything they can. And this little area at the back here is a good spot for wildlife. There's a deer there now. I've even heard of people seeing bears behind here. There's a monkey there. Right, so if you enter Khao Yai from the south entrance, about 10 kilometres or so beyond the entrance is this place, the car park to Haew Narok Waterfall, and it's Khao Yai's most spectacular waterfall. Well worth a visit in the rainy season. If it's in the dry season, maybe it's worth visiting, maybe not. You can ask at the car park if they've got any water flowing, but if it's any time in the rainy season, not to be missed. The water is flowing. It is definitely worth it. It definitely is a spectacle to be seen. So absolutely awesome sight in the rainy season. Haew Narok Waterfall, Khao Yai National Park, not to be missed. Absolutely awesome sight.
Anh biết bái. Tôm cay bên nó thà tôm cay bên nhiều.
And this is it, Pha Diew Dai Viewpoint. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've got a photograph of me at this very spot over 32 years ago with some friends. Right, so this campsite is called Pha Diew Dai, and it's a couple of kilometres further down the road than Lam De Kong. Now, I've hardly seen this campsite open in the past 4 or 5 years. About 4 or 5 years ago, somebody was killed by a wild elephant just over there, and it's hardly ever opened since then. But it is the location of the start of trail number 2. Now, trail 2 goes from here, and it follows the river along to Haew Suwat Waterfall, and it's quite a nice trail, and a lot of the times if you hire guides and they're not quite sure of your ability, this is the trail they'll take you on, you know, because it's not too long and it's pretty easy to follow. So I suggest if you haven't done any jungle hiking, do this trail, do trail 2. Now this nice little viewpoint on the bend on the river is where trail number 2 starts. Now, up until 4 or 5 years ago, they used to have a crocodile in this river, of course. It made it very, very popular with the tourists. Unfortunately, that hasn't been seen for 4 or 5 years now, so it's probably long gone. And of course, like all the trails here, it's got his resident elephants, and this lot looks pretty fresh, you know. I reckon that was probably not, maybe not last night, but the night before. I must admit, it's been a few years since I hiked this trail, and I've forgotten how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it's definitely the best one I've been on so far in the park.
If you've never hiked in the jungle and you wanted to pick a trail that is quite scenic but not too difficult, then this is the one I'd recommend really. A trail to at Khao Yai, you can either start at the Park Blue in my campsite, or you can start at the car park for Haew Suwat Waterfall. This is Haew Suwat Waterfall at Khao Yai National Park, which is probably the most famous because on the Leonardo DiCaprio movie The Beach, there's a scene where they run and jump over a waterfall. Well, partly it was filmed here, so that's how most people know it. Right, now basic jungle prep. We're at Khao Yai National Park and we're about to go into the jungle in the rainy season. So you need to take precautions. The biggest problem is leeches. So for this reason, we bought anti-leech socks, which go over your normal socks and then tighten up. As you remember, when I came here last year with Nick Dean, the shop was closed, so we couldn't buy any, so we had to go in raw. We're not going to do that today. Absolutely no need. GPS, use a Garmin GPS unit. I've already got the trail that we're going to walk marked onto the loaded onto the GPS. That can be a lifesaver. Now, an extra precaution against the leeches is good old bug spray. This can go a long way to preventing the leeches from even attaching themselves to you. Believe me, they are insidious little buggers. They will get absolutely anywhere. So that's it, we're ready. Right, we just got lost back then. That bit where we were scrambling up the hill, we shouldn't have scrambled up the hill, you know. You get up there and it looks like a trail for a while, and then you realise you're lost. And again, GPS to the rescue. Hopefully we're back on the trail again now. Oh look, the elephants are flat in this place. I'll tell you what, this is what happens. You're following the trail and you come across an area with either like natural tree fall or like this, where it's probably a bit of both. The trees come down, the elephants have kind of like have flattened it, and it can be real tough to try to find the trail. Actually, it might be it over here. Let's try it. We'll go over here, see if the trail starts over here. Oi.
Well, I'll wait here just in case it doesn't.
Oh. It does. Oh dear me, see what I mean? It's so easy to get lost, can't you, Ant? You know?
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? It's just,
Oh, look. I mean, they're big elephants as well, you know what I mean? You get elephants, there's elephants turd and there's elephants turd. Yeah, they're big then, aren't they? Yeah.
We're going to take Trail 5, which is my favourite trail at Khao Yai. It's 5 to 6 kilometres long, and but what I like about it's like authentic jungle, you know. It's really, you know, you've got like a real sort of a really interesting mix of terrain, and it leads from near the start of the headquarters right to Nong Wildlife Tower. And then we just follow like a road for a kilometre back to the main road, and we'll hitchhike back from there.
Leech City.
It is Leech City. Unfortunately, it's the rainy season, so I just can't see any way that we're not going to come across leeches. We'll prepare ourselves as best we can, but the shops close up here, so we can't really buy any decent insect repellent. So yeah, expect to see leeches. Look at that tree, it's amazing, isn't it?
That's got to be centuries old. I mean, the roots have wrapped themselves around all these rocks.
Just past the tree, and it gets very, very steep.
Big spider's web there, man.
Oh no!
Straight up. Don't know if the spider where.
Turn around slowly. No sign of it anywhere, mate. That looks a bit fresher. That elephant shit.
Ah.
Yeah, right, it's 2-3 days old, that one. So there you go then, Pat. There's been elephants here pretty recently, mate.
Did you notice any coffee beans in that elephant shit, mate?
Right, we've just hiked back onto the trail. It's getting a bit late actually, there's not many cars about, and we've got to hitch a lift back to our car at the HQ.
Hitch a lift?
Yeah, I'm serious.
What, like that?
Yeah, I'm going to see, look, there ain't many cars about now because people won't be, so I'm going to see if this one will give us a lift there.
You never said that.
Yeah, see, wonderful Thailand. We've got some wonderful forangs have helped us out.
No problem.
I'll just take this off, sorry, 1 minute. So I won't be able to sit down.
No, we're parked at the headquarters. Okay. We did a loop through the jungle.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Well, good on you.
Yeah, we've done about 8 kilometres.
We're too lazy. We read that map and thought, you gotta be kidding me.
พวกครับส่งแล้วไปประมาณ2 กิโลเมตรนะครับที่3 แยกไปน้ำตกฮิวสุวัตคุณครับI told you, mate, all you need is a bit of charm.
I'm cheek.
Friendly, aren't they?
Yeah. Wouldn't get no like in England.
No, you wouldn't, would you? Right, what we're doing now is going to do the night tour. Now, you have to book this at the National Park headquarters, or you might be able to telephone them, but they can collect you from wherever you're staying. So we've arranged for them to collect us here at Lamdakong campsite. It's currently 600 baht, and you can probably get like 4 or 5 people in it, so you can share the costs. And they drive you around for an hour, and they give you this receipt. So we're just now waiting for the car to come and pick us up. I'll tell you, that's one thing I never did see years ago when I worked here. I think they're a lot more common now. All the dog species, they've got the 2 different dog species. They've got this, the Asiatic golden jackal, and they've got the dhole, and they've both become a lot more common since the tigers disappeared.